Hey guys, it's Channing. Long time no talk. I just wanted to let you guys know the background will be changing as these videos go on. I did move into an apartment, a new one. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for these last, I think it's been a couple weeks since I uploaded, but I am back on the train. I will be coming out with you with some more videos. But today is part of my bridal series, and it's a review of this wedding planner. Now I'm reviewing it, because I like it, and I thought you guys would like it too because you can find this at Walmart. When I first got engaged, I really wanted a wedding planner because I'm the type of person who likes to be organized, keep everything together. That way it's less of a stress and less of a hassle, and then you don't end up fighting with anybody. So I was originally gonna buy a binder, because I wanted to go the inexpensive route, because I know there's really expensive planners, but there's a lot of things and a lot of pre-made planners that you don't need or they're really expensive. So I was going to get like a 3-ring binder, get page dividers, get highlighters, and then just print off like a lot of templates from the computer because you can find a lot. But this one from Walmart, they actually have a wedding aisle. If you guys have not checked it out, it's pretty good. This was only $20, so I looked through it and it seemed to have everything that I wanted, and for only $20, I think it's a great deal. I did add some of my own stuff, but I will let you see that. Sorry, I'm out of breath already. I'm kind of sick. So the front of it, it does look, I wish, well, I think you can like add your own, but I just kept it because I was, because I'm lazy. And it just says wedding planner, and on the back, it's like advertising showing you what's in it. And it has this cute little ribbon that you could tie so everything stays together. So the things that I added are right in the front. I added this pencil pouch. I think I got this at Target or at Walmart. And then I just added a bunch of like colored pens and highlighters and little color coding things for, you know, different things throughout here I will show you. And then I got some just empty sheets like this just in case. And right now in them, I have tickets to a bridal show I'm going to this weekend. So stay tuned for a blog post on that. Okay, so it opens up. Kind of hard because you know it's big, and there it has all these little tabs on the side. Now the tabs are checklist and budget, ceremony and reception, transportation and hotel, flowers and decor, music, photos and video, attire and beauty, stationery, and then other. So it definitely covers all your bases, which is really nice because then you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. So I'll just show like what some of the things that I use. And the good thing about this is in the beginning and end of like all these things, there is a folder just in case you need a folder. So the first is the checklist for your budget. So kind of does the whole typical thing like they do in wedding magazines. Tells you what you need to do 6 months before, 4 months, 2 months, like a week before, which is nice to lay it out. I have my 6 month right here. A lot of it I have done, so I just check it off. But the nice part is they have like notes down below so you can write in things. What I actually wrote in was, because it says 4 to 6 months, 2 to 4 months, I actually wrote what those months would be because you know you're kind of stressed. You're like, wait, what month is this month? I just thought it would be easier to write in. Like 4 to 6 months for me is April to June, so it's easier to see, oh, April to June, then wait, 4 to 6 months. So I thought that would be a nice little tip. And then it just says everything that you should do in your timeline. Now I'm a big advocate for getting things done before it hits that time, but that's just me. So yeah, it has that. It goes to 1 week, and it actually goes to the day before, so that's nice. And then it has your budget. It has all these sheets, and it says on the side, like for your ceremony, it has your total cost or your budget for your ceremony. And it has what you would like to estimate it at, which is nice, like what you would like to spend and then what you actually spend, so that you can kind of see where you saved money and where you spent a little bit more, so you can kind of balance out. So that's really nice. And it just has, they also have like in this for the ceremony, has things under it, the site fee, the officiant fee, and the musician's fee, which is nice, but it also has other spaces for you to write in. That way, if you have extra things, it's easy for you to write them in. And it also includes the rehearsal dinner. And then it just has things like gifts. Like I have my reception already in here, like what I estimated at, and then when I get my final cost, I put that in actual. And just like a ton of different things that you add up, and little things that you wouldn't even think of putting in here, they have, which is really nice. And then on the last page of the budget, it has like the subtotal and the cost of all stuff. And then it has another page. I'm not going to show it to you because there's phone numbers, but it's basically a like an address book for, it has the bride, the groom's parents, the ceremony site, so anything I know that we have like phones and stuff, but you know, it's nice when you're talking to someone, you go to a meeting, you just have all things right there rather than pulling out your phone. This has all the sheets. It has like your maid of honor, your best man, and all that fun stuff. And then we get into, after that is just calendars. So it starts in January, so I'm not starting mine until January 2015 because that's when I'm really probably going to start because that's the year of my wedding. I'm probably, like I've done meetings now, but I'm not too overwhelmed where I need something like this. So you can fill this out. You can always photocopy and add more pages, which is nice. And then at the back of the sections, there's a couple pages that you can write notes, which is good. So then the next tab is ceremony and reception. So it kind of goes over your ceremony, where you're having it, like things that you would ask when you go there, like the maximum guest count, all the little fees that you might not think, if like bubbles and rice are allowed to be thrown or blown. Some place might not have that. If there's parking, handicap, just a lot of things for you to ask when you're going. And it has slots for site 1, site 2, site 3. So when you're going to these places and asking, you can kind of write down and visually see which place favors you, which I think is really good as a visual person. And then on the next page, it's just like reading selections if you're doing religious ceremonies, so that's nice. Music selections, that way you just have it all planned out. And then you can actually have your pew seating arrangement. If you want a seating arrangement, they have a couple pages of that for you. The rehearsal dinner page, they just have where it would be. If you sent your invitations, you check it off if your directions are sent, and just all that stuff is spelled out for you. And then there's a page for gifts. That way you can kind of see who you're giving your gifts to, how much you paid. You add that to your budget as well. And then your menu selections, which is nice in case someone asks. And then your seating arrangements, if you wanted to put them in this or if you wanted to make something else, but it's nice that this is in here. And then there's a section for the cake. And the thing I like most about this is for everything from a photographer to the wedding cake, they have a section, questions to ask. So when I went to see my photographer, I didn't take this big book with me because I didn't want to be that girl. But these questions are really good questions, and they hear a lot of questions, but they've said to me, oh, that's actually a really good question. So for the cake, for example, it's questions you might not even think of. And some, they're pretty like straightforward. You would probably think of them, but just, should I have a groom's cake? Do you deliver? What's the cost of delivery? Because you might want it delivered, but you might not know that there's a cost, or are decorations extra? So just a lot of questions that I would definitely ask them. And then obviously how much the cake costs. There's a page for favors. And then the next one is transportation and hotel information. And just, again, there's a section for your transportation provider, like how many years have you been in the business, if they're insured, a lot of things that you should ask. And then the cost, and then same thing for the hotel accommodations, questions and stuff. And next is flowers and decor, which is a big thing. So there's questions for your floral designer, and then there's things that you forget about getting, like an aisle runner, pew decorations, candles, and holders. So there's a little section for that for you to fill in so you don't forget to get that stuff, which is important. And then on the back is just more like how much was the bride's bouquet, the father's boutonnieres, just all that stuff so you can add that up and add it to your budget. And then the next section is music, photography, and videography, probably one of the most important sections. And again, has questions to ask your DJ, which were very helpful for me in finding my DJ. My favorite question that it said was, what would you do if no one was dancing? So I think based on that answer, you could really find a great DJ. So I did, and I'm glad that that answer was given to me. And it also has this little page where you put like what you want to play during the cocktail hour, what your first dance is. And even though you probably know, it's easy to write down because, you know, in that moment you might forget. Like if someone's like, what's your first dance? I'm like, crap. Or what do you want? What theme do you want for dancing? Your don't playlist, which is very important. And then photography, there are a ton of questions to ask your photographer. I would definitely ask a lot of questions for your photographer. I'm meeting with some this week, and I plan on asking a lot of questions because that's how, I mean, you're going to remember it, but that's probably the most important thing because that's how people are going to see it and remember it down the road, is having a great photographer. And then they actually give you this page, which I'm excited about. It's a photo list. So on the left is portraits, and then well, there's a section for portraits, so what the typical portraits are, bridegroom, groom and groomsmen, so you might forget, so you can actually photocopy this list and give it to your photographer, or circle the ones or write down the ones that you want. There's pre-wedding, reception, and ceremony, so just the typical poses or things that people usually do that you might not remember or forget. That way they have this list and they're the ones who have to remember, not you. And then videographer, I'm not getting a videographer, but they have stuff on that as well. Next is attire and beauty, and just like right here in the pocket, I actually have an envelope where I keep my receipts for all like my dress and my accessories. So that's nice to have right in that pocket under that tab. There's questions to ask your bridal gown consultant, which I don't think I had this when I had my gown. I got my gown pretty quickly. There's just like where you fill in for stuff, gifts, beauty, like your hair appointment, where it's at, what time, where, which is nice to see your makeup, your nails, and your total cost of your beauty, even though you probably don't want to see that cost. Next is stationery. I'm assuming that means invitations. So there's some questions to ask them. Yeah, it's invitations. I don't know why they call it stationery. And then there's just like exactly what you want written on it, how you written, what you want to spell. So that is really nice. We're almost done, guys. This is kind of a long video, but I really wanted it to be in depth. And then last tab is just other wedding events. So it just gives you pre-wedding events like your engagement party, which I didn't have, a bridal shower, which I will, a bridesmaid's tea and luncheon, which I would assume is like a bridal shower, but I don't know, bridesmaid spa weekend, bachelorette party, rehearsal dinner. So just like a fun events that you can plan in here. So they have blank things like what the wedding event, where it's at, who's going, if the invitations are sent, and just everything you need. And next is gift registry. I just spit. I hope you didn't see that. But it's just like the store where you're registered. And then there's a checklist of things like china, bakeware, and whether you're registering for them or not and where. And then there's a section for the honeymoon, which is also probably very important. And just some tips on how to book things. Here's a tip. Always book in your maiden name. I've heard that from a lot of places because even though obviously you're married, if you take their name, everything's, I mean, usually people go on the honeymoon a couple days the day after, so everything's still in your maiden name, like your passport if you're going international, your driver's license. So when you book the tickets, book them in your maiden name because it makes traveling way easier. I've wedded on a lot of sites. That's just easier that way to book everything in your name. And then just a bunch of things that I will definitely be looking into, and then information that you type in. And then on the next thing, speaking of changing your name, there's a whole list of things you need to do to change your name. Us girls get it great, right? Like your social security, obviously, but you're through your health insurance. If you guys are like combining insurance, go through your work, and just a bunch of things so it's easy and laid out. And I think there's some things on Pinterest that I'm going to print out to make sure that everything on here is the same as Pinterest. And if there's a couple more, I'll just hole punch it and put it right in the back. And then on the back of there is a bake list. You probably didn't see that, but it's just your what account, the phone number to it, the day that you changed it for your last name, and who you spoke with. That way, if you have any problems, all the numbers are right there. And my thing is, make life and your wedding as stress-free as possible. So as long as you write everything down, keep it in one place, you should be good. And then they include a couple of these pages, these clear pages you can put business cards in, which is nice for your DJ. I have one in here for our rings. And then they actually have a zipper pouch on the top as well, so you can throw things in there, which is very nice. And then in the back here, I just have some pages that I ripped out of wedding magazines that I'm finding inspiration, so I just stick those in the back. And I think, oh, that is in a folder that I think this folder was included. I don't know. If it's not, just grab a folder. And I like to stick little inspiration things back there because you never know, and that way they're with all your wedding stuff. So yeah, that is the wedding planner from Walmart. Like I said, it's about $20. I think it is a great deal. It has so much in it, and I'm the type of person that after I get married, I'm going to keep this, and like when my future kids get married, see how much a wedding now costs versus then, because my parents, like, they showed me theirs and theirs was way cheaper. But it's been 25 years. But I just like to have everything in one place. So you're not frazzled, you're not stressed, because wedding planning is already stressful enough, even though it shouldn't be. So it's just nice to have everything laid out and it flows really great. If I can find this on Walmart.com, I will definitely link it below. Or just go to your local Walmart and check it out for yourself. It might not work for you, but if it does, please let me know down below. Or if you've had this to plan a past wedding, let me know. I would love to hear about people's success stories. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys later.